really to be out there with the action, trying to make compelling photographs. I realized pretty early on that I was the most creative when I was a participant in the activity that I was documenting. When my heart rate was really high and sweat's dripping into my eyes, that's when I get into that really creative space. And I think this is true for all of us. Whatever it is that you love to photograph, whatever it is that you love to document, the key is to be a participant, to be part of that activity. I also realized early on that it wasn't just about the peak action of the guy jumping over the lake with the snowboard. It's about all of those quiet moments. It's about the experience of being outside, the hanging out in the campground, capturing those intimate moments that really make us human and that we can all relate to. But today what I wanted to talk about was a film that I had the opportunity to shoot for Nikon, and it was to launch the Nikon D4. My world has really gone down two roads, and it's been the still photography world and the motion world, telling stories with full HD video. And so last year in November, I got a phone call from Nikon Tokyo, and they said, Corey, we want you to help us launch the new flagship camera, the Nikon D4. And the best part of the phone call was the next thing that they said. They said, we want you to dream up a project that's close to your heart, something that you're passionate about, and we want you to put together a short film and a set of still photos. And imagine it's a blank white canvas, Corey. You can tell whatever story you want to tell. That's a pretty amazing offer. That doesn't happen very often, at least not in my life. And so I really put my head down and I gave it some thought. And I decided the concept would be why. I wanted to look into the lives of adventure athletes, into the minds of adventure athletes, and get them to really answer the question, why they do what they do, why rock climbers push themselves so hard, why a mountain biker in the endurance world does what they do, and how they stay at that high level. So what I want to do today is show you the film, and then after we watch the film, we're going to really dissect it. We'll pull the curtains back and look at the behind the scenes of what my thought process was, what tools we used, and the philosophy behind how you put together a film. And I'll tell a few self-deprecating, embarrassing stories of making mistakes along the way. So let's sit back, we'll watch why first, and keep in mind, this is all shot on the Nikon D4. I mean, we're living in an amazing time for technology, that these tools are so readily available to us. Only our minds are the limiting factor today. So here we go, this is why.
I'm a racer and I love to win.
I wouldn't say that I'm trying to prove something to people, or that I'm trying to prove something to myself, really. I mean, but I'm sure there's a little bit of both.
When I was growing up, we lived in an RV, and we were always parked by a river because we would just go where my dad wanted to kayak. I was born directly into sport kayaking.
And I specialize in long distance mountain biking. What it means is that I ride my bike for a really long time, and a 10-hour race would be a short race for me. A race or an event where I get to sleep on bed that night is a sprint.
Basically, soloing is just rock climbing without a rope, without protection. It's basically the most distilled type of climbing. I think the beauty of soloing is that it's just so simple. You just go out by yourself with your shoes and your chalk bag and you climb it.
In my world, the only constant is that there's no constant. When I'm at a rapid or a waterfall, I may pick my line, but it's never the same, it's always changing.
I do have a suffering skill. My nickname's the Queen of Pain. I put my head down and turn the voices inside my head off. It takes hours and days to kind of strip away all the exterior, to kind of find out who you are.
Yeah, there's no real ritual associated with soloing. I just put on my shoes, I chalk up, and I rock out.
For me, the definition of the zone is when you don't feel the burn in your legs, you don't hear your heart rate, so you're basically just on autopilot and everything seems easy.
When all the movements just feel so crisp, precise, and perfect. You don't feel pain in your fingers as much. You can really like torque on super hard. I mean, you just feel stronger a lot of the time.
Whenever I'm coming up to the lip of a big waterfall, everything else goes blank. I'm just focusing on what I need to do. Somewhere new that nobody else has ever been or you've never been, and just the beauty of what's happening around you. I kayak because it allows me to be who I want to be. I'm always afraid at some point, without the fear it wouldn't be the same. Overcoming the fear is what really is amazing.
And people ask me why I do this over and over again. The best thing I've come up with is because I have to. I don't know how to live my life any other way.
Drives my life.
Tapping into who I am as a person is something that I need to do on a regular basis because you never really get to that person no more. And that's the point where it's perfect. It's nirvana.
So there you have it. That's in the words of thank you. So really one of the unique aspects of why and the Nikon D4 was that it was the first DSLR camera that allowed us to record audio to the video file, and we could monitor that sound through a headset. And so that was really big. I really wanted the launch film for the Nikon D4 to be a narrative, not just a silent movie with music and lots of visual montage. I wanted voice because that's what was so unique about this camera. Now, to put this film together, it was a pretty aggressive schedule. We had 2 weeks total, actually 13 days from start to finish. Now, 13 days at face value sounds like a lot of time. Like, boy, if I had 13 days, I could shoot a lot. But you have to break this down and think we have 3 athletes, 3 of the top athletes on the planet involved with the film. And so trying to coordinate those schedules so that it was back to back, getting the right kayaker in the right place, the right mountain biker, the right rock climber, was pretty challenging. The way it broke out is we would essentially travel one day, then we would land in the location and